make sense if you force it to.
My name is General Zod.
Welcome. I'm the motherfucking Batman, David John Lincoln, aka the Savage Bat, with my good friend, the Kryptonian, the Bat and the Kryptonian, Zod Writer, and special guest, Retro Nerd Girl. Been meaning to get you on for a proper episode for ages. Thank you for coming.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And straight in with the nitty gritty. The ridiculousness of the Black Adam situation on the internet. What is going on? What's happened to this fandom? It's a joke.
I even ordered a Black Adam action figure. Okay, and the last action figure I got was Darkseid. So I mean, come on, these people are crazy. They're crazy.
This boycott thing's getting out of control.
Boycott everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. I just don't, because I was going through some tweets, and I think Ray Fisher was trending today, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? And it was just like, oh yeah, we're not seeing it, Black Adam, because Ray Fisher is not back. And I'm like, what?
They're using Ray Fisher as an excuse now.
Yeah. It wasn't Ray Fisher.
These same people were attacking Ray Fisher and were mad at Ray Fisher for complaining about Hamada and the old regime because they blamed Ray Fisher for stifling, the progress after Zack Snyder's Justice League, and now they're using Ray Fisher as the reason not to see Black Adam. Make up your mind.
Yeah. I know he was never supposed to be in Black Adam or anything to do with it. That bit's yet to come. He might even be in the Flash yet, for all people know. People look like
he's probably in that.
I reckon he is, and they're keeping it a secret.
Well, what they're saying is that they just want like some kind of confirmation that he's back, but he's working right now. He can't make any promises.
Funny enough, he's working with Zack on Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
And we're all waiting for them to finish that so he can come back. So surely won't they come back together?
Yeah, and
Ray comes back. Yeah.
Now. Yeah, they can't. They can't break their contract to come to Warner Brothers right now.
No, that's right. And I'm just making a sort of a few video movie clips that I like. Just for fun and games, and this one is for the boycott Black Adam, and just general arguing on Twitter, really.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
And that's about the size of it, really. It's completely ridiculous. And I'm gonna build up some more, and they'll be timed a lot better in the future. But I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted for this or not. But here's the clip of Rock blatantly destroying the old regime, and listen to the dates, and you just can't, with this evidence put in front of your face, you got no argument.
I'm going to say that again. 6 years we first started talking about this, and they kept saying no. Now that leadership isn't there anymore, because we usher in a new era in the DC universe, and we usher out an old era in the field.
We usher out an old era. He's blatantly taking a stab at the old regime, including Hamada, who was involved with these projects and all that. I mean, what would you make of that? It's like, does it have to be any more obvious?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people say, well, he's just flip-flopping now. And that's just like, okay, well, he's telling you he's in business. In business, sometimes you've got to shake hands with the devil, I mean, you can't always be ready to to be argumentative with everyone. You have to fight and get what you can. And sometimes people lose their jobs and somebody else comes in, you got to deal with them. And,
Yeah.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah, you may not like that person or, agree with them. And obviously The Rock didn't agree with the Hamada's decisions or, anyone in, that thing. He's blatantly, coming out and saying it. With Hamada out of the door next week, I think he said he's going to leave when Black Adam was released. I'm presuming so he gets his bonuses or whatever for legal reasons. I'm just presuming. I don't know. But, Hamada will be gone next week, fingers crossed. He's already gone, but it's, he'll be officially out the door then. So, and I'm really looking forward to Black Adam now. And I think it's a shame that people are,
Well, they're upset because Hamada's name is on Black Adam. That's what they're upset about. But they don't realize that Zack Snyder is going to get some credit too because Henry Cavill's Superman is back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lucas, they are turning on Zack and Henry now. It's ridiculous. One of them saying "fuck Henry Cavill." Like what?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw. Then how about Justice Zack? How about that one?
Yeah, Justice Zack. I saw that. Equally as ridiculous. Hey, Neo, you all right, mate? Back down in the place, Marvel Zone. Oh, for God's sake! I didn't even see that one. Block user. It's that same person again. Trolling. If they were boycotting Flash over Ray Fisher, that would make more sense. Yeah, because he originally was supposed to be in that movie. We all know the story about that. Matthew McConaughey, all right. Insane. I wonder who that is. Do you know what? That could be Zack Snyder in disguise. Because he just pops up in everyone's stream and just says, all right. Yeah, we're on to you, Zach.
It's beautiful stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It always puts a smile on my face when I see it.
Yeah, same. Every time it's like, wait, Matthew McConaughey's back. Hey, Socks, you all right? Hey, John Wonder, my good friend John King. John King's Infographics. He's a Snyder Knight. I've said this before. Hey, Neo. Yes, mate. You know this. Mm-hmm. Ray Fisher praised Joss Whedon when Justice League came out. What?
Yeah. Everybody did.
Well, yeah, because they were told to.
Yeah, but if you remember when Ray Fisher praised Joss Whedon, he sounded like he was going to cry when he said it. That's how much he hated having to say it. If you really listen to his voice is cracking when he says it because he hated Joss Whedon. You could tell. His body language was saying something completely different.
Yeah. So, there's that famous picture of when all the cast are together and Henry Cavill's got the moustache and all of them look like they want to jump off a bridge. And you can see that no one was happy while that, while all that shit was going on. I spoke when I had Richard Centrone on here. He said that that whole thing was a complete mess, basically. And Ray Fisher was, he's done they done a number on him. Yeah, I think the worst. I know, but don't want to keep going back to Justice League. The worst one was when they actually lightened Ray Fisher's skin in Justice League and changed his hair. They were really, really, really taking the mickey out of him, basically.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was
already very light complexioned. I don't know why they did that.
No, exactly. It didn't even make any sense. It was like sabotage and having a stab at him for no reason. Yeah, well, these people do. You meet, people in Hollywood and all that. It's just one of them things, You have to shake hands with the enemy sometimes. But yeah, so the the thing with the boycott that's been going on, it's not carrying much weight, and not people are paying much attention to it. Really, they're kind of sort of laughing at it. I think because of how ridiculous it is. Boycotting a movie. We're supposed to be celebrating Henry Cavill coming back. Hey! And instead, these people are just not good enough again. Which is just fucking ridiculous. And Zack Snyder liked the post that Vero posted of Black Adam, and Zack Snyder liked it. So it's like, yeah, I'm interested in that. See how it goes. Like the rest of us are. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know if it's any good or not yet. But, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Zach's a fair guy. He seems like a fair guy. And I think, business-wise, it would make sense for him to back up this story because it's opening up the door for him to come back. Okay, I mean, if people are waiting for that stamp to say, oh, the Snyderverse is officially back, we're never going to see that. What we're going to see are doors opening. Ben coming back. He was gone.
Yeah, he was actually officially gone. Made the statements and everything.
Yeah. And Henry comes back. Henry was gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are two big pieces of the puzzle right there. All we need is Ray to come back.
And Zach. That's it.
And we need Zach to come back, and then we have the whole team back together.
That's right.
But it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
He hasn't finished his Netflix contract yet, so that's an obvious no-brainer.
But see, this is how you know that these people are not fans of what Zach is doing. Maybe they don't they don't care about Rebel Moon. They don't care about his Netflix projects. Okay.
Beard watch for Zod. Yeah, I noticed Zod's got a bit of a beard going on there.
That's right.
Yeah. I did a little Easter egg when we was doing beard watch with Affleck. I actually shaved my beard off that day for a laugh, and no one noticed.
Well, yeah, you did. You were clean shaved for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah. But hey, Necron, how's it going, Necron?
What's up, Necron? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, shout out to hashtag the cool table.
Yeah. Shout out to the cool table. Much respect. So it's just got to the point now. With Zach liking the post and The Rock just blatantly, outright taking a piss out of the old regime in that statement.
See, this is what I don't understand. Even if there's a whole bunch of people out there that feel like Henry's a traitor and all this, they're mad at Zach now. When you hear The Rock literally take shots at the old regime, so what are you? Are you hate the old regime, you hate the new regime too, and you hate everything. So if you hate everything, what are you fighting for? What are you trying to get? What are you trying to gain? Because this is the way things are now. So I don't know.
I think for a lot of those, I mean, not everyone, and I don't want to put a whole bunch of people in the same boat, but I think for a lot of people, it's just to get people riled up on the internet and to get people to respond to them.
Yeah.
Because...
Or they're just bots.
It's possible, but a lot of people that I was taking a look at, or seeing what their responses were, it just seemed like they were consistently, like at least 5 posts in a row, just totally against what's happening with Black Adam, and it's like, your entire page or your entire Twitter account is completely obsessed with Black Adam or getting rid of Black Adam. I don't think those sites or those people are really doing it. I mean, I think a lot of them are just doing it for clout. I wouldn't want to say clout necessary, but to get attention.
Yeah.
To
cause a ruckus.
Yeah. To get. likes and dislikes and retweets
Yeah.
and responses.
Engagement.
Engagement, yeah.
Yes,
Whether it's
yes,
good or
that's
not,
the word. That's the word.
Yeah,
Engagement.
yeah,
Because the fight keeps them relevant.
yeah.
That's
It
why.
does. Yeah,
Now, if you pull up John Wonder's comment here, no disrespect to John Wonder, but that's not true. Zach has actually stated, okay, that Black Adam, there's a place for Black Adam in the Snyderverse. Zach's already said that. So what are people talking about? And he's literally liked comments supporting the movie. So it's not
Yeah.
about just supporting other artists. Yeah, he supports other artists, but you've never
Yeah.
heard Black Adam come out and say there's a place for Matt Reeves, the Batman in the Snyderverse. He could support Matt Reeves and he could support the Batman because he supports artists, but there's a difference between supporting the artist and supporting the use of the character. You don't think Zack Snyder
Yeah.
was aware that Henry Cavill was going to be in Black Adam? You don't think Zack Snyder knew that? You don't think
Yeah,
that
of course,
the
of course,
fact that they're bringing Superman back into the greater DCEU plan, you don't think that that's all something that Zach would be privy to? He can't publicly come out and say he knew about it because, like on Vodka Stream, he said that he didn't know for sure. He didn't know if Henry was going to be in the in Black Adam, but he probably knew, and he can't say. So what? Zach is supposed to spoil everything that he knows.
Yeah.
Zach is supposed to come out and say, Henry Cavill's coming back. You already know Ben Affleck is coming back, and again, Zach is not under contract with WBD right now, so Zach can't legally come out and say that he's got plans for Justice League 2 and 3, and this is what these people are missing. They're not understanding that right now Zach is not under contract, so he cannot come out and say these things. This is why you're not hearing anything from Zach. But once he's under contract, then he'll be able to spill the beans and he'll be able to say whatever he wants.
And he definitely can't say anything now because he is under contract with Netflix. You know, he's got to honor that responsibility first. I mean, not just completing the films that he's working on, multiple films, but also seeing them through with marketing. So all of that has to be done first before we even get to even have him in negotiations. And negotiations might take a little while because he's going to want some things when he comes back to Warner Brothers. If he,
and he'll probably, and the thing is, Retro Nerd Girl, he'll probably announce it himself. he'll probably announce it himself on Vero.
He did, John, and Wonder Woman 84.
Right, but here's the thing: it's not like he said that those movies are in the Snyderverse. He never said that. Matt Reeves, the Batman, fits into the Snyderverse.
Just professional. I know John. I speak to him pretty much every day. He's in support. It's a bit of miscommunication. He does, support, the other DCU projects, but Zach has actually acknowledged that he likes the Black Adam in an interview. I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was just recently. And they questioned him, what do you think about Black Adam? And he's like, yeah, that would be a cool character, for the Snyderverse. And then they said, what about Shazam? And he was kind of like, nah.
Right. The point is,
in so many words, he was pretty blatant about it. Right, he likes the idea of Black Adam. He doesn't like the idea of Shazam.
And that's the point. So see. The fact that Henry Cavill and I'm so tired of so far seeing people make comments about how the post credit scene was not Zack Snyder's Superman. I'm looking at that and I'm like, are you high? That's exactly Zack Snyder's Superman. He came out. He had the same swagger. He had the same.
Snyder was on the set of Supergirl.
He had the same. That same Superman, the same attitude that Henry Cavill's Superman has had in all of Snyder's films. What are people talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back then, when we get Superman 2024 announced before Zack Snyder, they're going to boycott that movie. They literally boycott a Superman movie at this point.
Okay.
I believe they will.
They'll boycott it even if Snyder directs it, though. That's the point. because they've already said Justice Zack. I've already seen prominent members of that faction say the words Justice Zack. So they're already done. The movement is over as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there was, John. There's no worries there. But yeah, it's just funny how, you know, these things play out, and I think I've got to the point now where Twitter and the arguments on Twitter, you know, there's been a lot of people attacking Seal and stuff just out of pure jealousy. And then a lot of channels have been talking about, Skywalker's been talking about that, and the Cool Table. And there's been these spaces thing. I didn't even know what a space on Twitter was until that first one happened. I didn't even know what it was.
Spaces are the stupidest things ever. I wish they would go away.
Yeah, but it was just a lot of people would come together. It culminated attack on Seal and Mikey. That was basically what's happening, and it's gone on, you know. And to be honest with you, I'm you know, I've never been a big one for Twitter anyway, but you know, I'm just going to support the Snyderverse on Twitter, pretty much just for that, like I always have. But I'm not getting involved in any more of this. I just
it's ridiculous.
I didn't sign up for it. I signed up to restore the Snyderverse. You know, be positive, and you know, try and get these movies out and raise a bit of money for you know, AFSP and stuff. I didn't sign up to be fighting with people on Twitter or other YouTubers. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to. That's not what I want to do.
No,
and you know, I really, you know, I can't be fucked with it, to be honest with you. But yeah,
why bother?
Why bother? It's a waste of time and a waste of energy.
I mean, I get it. People feeling the need to, you know, defend Sil and all that because of these.
Yeah,
but stop. But my thing is, stop giving these people attention. Why give them attention?
I don't think it's not going anywhere. And Sil, like I said in the chat the other day, he could take on 20 ninjas on his own. He took care of all on his own. He doesn't need your backup, you know, people.
Sil is literally.
He just destroyed. It's just destroyed them.
Silver right now. He's literally.
He's on top of the world, and that's why they're all annoyed at him, because they're jealous. You know, that he's making a success. He reached 4,000 subscribers today. Congratulations, Sil. If you see this.
Congratulations, Sil, for making
there you go.
It takes a lot of work to get that, you know, that popular that fast, and he deserves it. It's so great.
And he started, you know, little, you know, and then teamed up with Mikey and built this massive community. And that's where all these troubles are coming from. People are it's straight up jealousy. It's just not even.
That's all it is.
What I'm more impressed with is the fact that all of, you know, since he started scooping, he's been getting everything absolutely correct, and it's been fast. It's been a fast turnover.
It's been a turnover. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. A fast turnover.
I mean, he's got a bright future, you know, and, you know, with scooping, if, you know, continuing to do it. But what I think really was the reason why I think I myself was attracted to his channel was because he was one of the very few people that were actually talking positively about a possible chance for Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and almost all of the channels that were talking about it had turned their backs on the idea. And only now, with given a little proof and given all of the stuff that's been happening lately, I'm hearing a turnaround for a lot of people, a lot of hope. And that's all I think I've ever really wanted, was some hope that, you know, this thing was going to happen. Um, Zack Snyder's
right, John.
Justice League is an amazing movie. And it deserves his world of the three movies deserves more, or deserves a finish the way Zach wants to tell the story, and that's what I'm interested in. And the thing is what they're doing at Warner Brothers is not going against that. They're actually building the pathway for him to come back by structuring things in a way where they can explore other avenues like Green Lantern and other characters, the GSA. I'm sorry, am I saying it? And it's like they're doing all of this stuff so that way we can have a some kind of DC universe for Zach to come back to.
Yeah, and a better quality universe. Like the JSA and all the sort of upcoming projects that are going to be a part of the Snyderverse, but are not quite Snyderverse, if you like. They're going to be better quality. We've gone from, the Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, things like that, to the big guns. We're talking about Dwayne Johnson here, one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. I know he's not for everyone, but I'm sure he's going to put off a great performance of Black Adam. And the cast is amazing. Pierce Brosnan is the favourite I've seen across the internet.
I am encouraged by the fact that I've seen reviews for Black Adam where people have actually called Black Adam a Snyder-esque.
Snyder-esque, yeah, I saw that.
I mean,
that's what I was going to get onto that. Then that's pretty high praise to say. It's very Snyder-ish. That got me excited hearing that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. I mean, that's my hope, is that Black Adam is at least a decent movie. That people aren't, criticizing it to the, forever and ever. That I mean, there are going to be people who are going to hate it right off the bat. That's going to happen. But I think, like, if you can just say it's a decent movie and it's got a great surprise at the end, everybody, let's go see this movie. This is what DC needs right now. I mean, I really want to see Superman again.
Same. Even if it is just a tiny clip.
Yeah, and I really want that Superman movie.
Yeah,
exactly. This is the start of it. This is the beginning.
This is it.
People have to realize you have to build to things. You can't just rush into stuff. And the fact that they completely ignore that Zach is currently busy with Netflix and they completely omit Rebel Moon really pisses me off. I'm going to be honest, because when I think about it, it's like, what do you want this guy to do? What do you want What do you want from Zack Snyder? Now that everybody that was standing in Zack Snyder's way in the old regime is gone. So Zack really has no reason not to come back and complete his arc if he's asked to do that. And all signs right now that we know, we've got Cavill, we've got Batfleck, all the signs are pointing to that. And I believe that Ray Fisher is indeed in the Flash. I believe that 100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm
a believer. I know it's a fact. I feel like it. And 100%, I'm that sure. I just feel like at this point, you need to stop blaming the new regime for all the sins of the old regime, because that's not productive, and that's not going to help us get what we want if you really want Zack Snyder to come back.
Yeah, and I think, with David Zaslav's kind of attitude to getting back to the nitty-gritty of telling superhero stories, the proper ones that everyone wants to know about, and sort of veering off the path of identity politics and race stuff and things like that. It was all sort of bait and stuff. That was the matter, and that's plan, which is a very brave move because there is plenty of diversity and and stuff like that in DC already. There's no need to change it and ruin the source material with a load of nonsense. And I think David Zaslav knows that, and that's what's going to happen to the comics as well, which I'm really looking forward to, like the revitalization of DC Comics back to how it was in the late 80s and early 90s, where people are actually getting excited for the next Batman graphic novel to come out and things like that, because in general people haven't been over there's been a few, but just people haven't really been that excited for the comics themselves, because there's always
Yeah, and I feel like if they can really win if they concentrate on the stories that they tell instead of like who's going to be what and where's going to be, what people are going to wear, what suit, just give me a good story.
That's right.
And I think that's what we're craving. That's why we all got so attached to Zack Snyder's work, is because he was telling stories. And
properly.
Yeah, and the thing is that these stories had depth and it had intrigue and mystery, and every single time I watch one of those movies, I see something else. There's something new I discover about the characters.
Same.
It's just beautiful work.
Or if it triggers an emotional response, like that's why I love Zack's trilogy so much, because there's always something new. And he said there is still things in Batman versus Superman that people haven't spotted yet, and he's really surprised. There's still things in it. Imagine what there is in Zack Snyder's Justice League that we haven't spotted. If there's still stuff in Batman versus Superman we haven't spotted.
Wow.
And I love that. But there was a point where I was thinking, is Zack Snyder's Justice League gonna be the last hurrah to proper superhero storytelling before everything just becomes about politics or gender or race or whatever, and not actually about storytelling? And I was thinking, oh my God, is this going to be the last ever thing? And now that's not the case. It appears that Zaslav's like, nah, I don't like that idea. Let's cut that out. No one likes it. And I find that we talked about this before. The people that are sort of saying, oh, this is great, inclusive stuff for everyone, making characters say gay or race swapping and things like that. But they're not buying the comics. They're just arguing about it online. They're not actually supporting it or anything like that. It's just something to natter about online. And, David Zaslav's about money. You got to make the bucks.
Yeah, I mean, if it sells, that's,
Yeah.
What sells is what sells. But I also feel like hopefully this conversation will end soon, like about diversity and because it's true, we did need those representations, but I think what Hollywood didn't is missing is the story element and art. Like it's not so much don't give me a black Superman, right? But give me a good Superman. Give me a good story before you tell me, okay, well, this time we're gonna make Batman Asian, and we're gonna give him this that, and the other. Like, that's cool. But why don't you just concentrate on the story first?
Yeah, but that's not what's been happening though.
Yeah, that's not what's been happening.
It's just a gimmick at the end of the day.
It is being a gimmick. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the 70s where they had a lot of like black exploitation films.
Yeah, yeah, and they're great. I found a free channel that shows a lot of them on the apps on my smart TV. Some of them are really funny.
Coffee.
Yeah. What was that? The one with what's her name from
Pam
Jackie?
Grier.
Pam Grier. Oh yeah, everyone remembers that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of those movies were, they were cheap, but they wanted to make money off of the community, and they did.
Yeah.
But, and we can look back at it and laugh, and it also gave a lot of people an opportunity to be on screen. So maybe I think, in the long run, it isn't the worst thing ever. It's just a lot of people are having a hard time with change and seeing a visual change of like characters that they're hoping to see and being like swapped or changed, and
Yeah.
the quality of the work isn't exactly better. It isn't like a better story.
No.
So like I'll give you an example, like House of Dragons, where there were there were race swaps in there, but people love that show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And
a great
like,
show. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Right now, I'm loving it more than Game of Thrones. That's how excited I am about it. It's amazing.
Incredible. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun. And it's supposed to get even more incredible. Based on the original story, it's about to go wild. But at the same time, like it's the story, right? It's the story that keeps you watching. It's the story that keeps you intrigued, and you don't care. I don't care about the characters, what they look like. I'm really into the story. So that's, I think we've lost that in Hollywood in many ways. It's about right now the talking points that you can get people to watch your show.
Yeah, just to cause a ruckus. Like we was talking about the Black Little Mermaid and stuff like that. It's great, and I think it's a good idea. But it seems people like arguing about it more than they care about the actual movie itself.
I never saw so many people interested in
I know. So what the hell?
I can't wait. If I could get my tickets right now, I would. That's how excited I am.
I'm well supporting that movie now. Just because.
It's gonna be. I'm actually. That's what I'm gonna do. I am so hyped. I'm gonna make it my mission in life to get Halle Bailey on Late Night Q&A, because I honestly feel like this Little Mermaid movie is going to be amazing. I can't wait.
I think it's definitely going to be something to it. But yeah, do you know what I mean? No, and but the thing is there does need to be change, because you've got to remember that a lot of DC comics, especially, were made in the late 30s and early 40s. So there wasn't a lot of diversity in them. So there does have to be a little bit of sort of race swapping to adjust, because back then things were pretty, not pretty racist. They were very racist. Pretty racist. No, sorry, they were very racist.
Let's just be honest. It was outwardly racist.
Yeah, it was outwardly racist. So those times weren't good for people of color, or for whatever country. It didn't matter. There was terrible stuff. I remember there was a joke in the black and white Batman. I'm not sure if it was the film or the first black and white series, and I think it was actually Batman that said to someone who was supposed to be Asian, "You're as yellow as your skin." That chicken is just yellow as your skin. Like it was that bad. And obviously that's why they don't show them things on telly anymore. But I think there's got to be a limit to it. Like the outrage that the Black Clark Kent thing caused. That was
I mean, I think
Totally
a lot
unnecessary.
of people who were familiar with the comic books were like, "Oh, no, no, no! We already have a character that you can use." That's
Yeah, two. Well, two. Yeah, Calvin
yeah,
Ellis and Val Zod. Yeah.
yeah, and
Uh,
so it was it was a lot very shocking to them. For me, I was like, "Look, the Cavill is right there. I mean, Henry is in
yeah.
the prime. Why aren't you working with this guy?" And so, I mean, we had to go through that. And well, how many years? It's been 6 years now that they have benched our Superman. That
Yeah.
is not fair. That is a crime. Okay. Those are crimes. Like that 6 years that we could have been at least had one or two movies
Yeah.
um, in the Superman, um, kind of Superman universe, if you will, you know.
Yeah, and it's turned out that Rock has proven that all the sort of rumours about all this was right. There was a rift between Warner Brothers and everyone else about Cavill returning. I'm sure that's probably some partly financial because of Man of Steel, Henry Cavill become
Oh
this
yeah.
world star superstar. And they didn't want to shed out the money, Oh, we'll just get a lesser known actress in and replace him. But people were like, no, we don't want that. No disrespect to Supergirl. What's her name? The actress. I think she's going to be great, but it's the full time main focus of the DC.
I don't understand why they were willing to put. Okay, I just don't understand the idea of just swapping out a very virile Superman for Supergirl, and
Yeah,
also introducing a new character. Like you have a proven character that people love. Why are you swapping that character out for a new character that no one knows anything about? I'm
yeah,
sure that Sasha is going to do a fantastic job. She looks great as in the suit, and um but
yeah. Sasha
I
Kelly,
think
that's it.
there's no reason why um we should not have Superman. I mean, it always reminds me of that scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League where Wonder Woman says, "We needed Superman."
Yeah, and Zach's, over the years has made it clear that his particular 5-story arc is about Superman.
Yeah,
So, well, what's the deal? You know,
yeah, and before we even get to Justice League 2 and 3, we there could be at least 30 or so movies that are released. Just expanding the world.
yeah,
And I think they're thinking about it. They've got Alan Horn there, and Alan Horn is a genius. He's a genius, so he's probably orchestrating a lot of these ideas, you know.
yeah. I
So
really like. Yeah, sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying I'm really excited for what's to come. If the fans actually go out there and support DC stuff.
Yo, sickness. Yeah, that's it. And the sort of rumours and sort of stuff going around that Mikey and Seal have been talking about introducing Deathstroke as a regular character, things like that, have got me really excited. Like this proper world building, and they were saying that like characters like Deathstroke. We've had it in the Arrowverse and the Titans and stuff, but on the big screen for the masses, it's such a cool character. It's totally unused.
Oh yeah.
All over the years of the history of DC, really. And yeah, just things like that. The idea of it, and Jared Leto, just Jared Leto, It's Jared Leto speaks to himself. I know his performance in the original Suicide Squad cut was, people have put 50-50 on it, but he obviously, wanted to, make up for it, and he done that cameo in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
We got the eye cut coming out, imminent. But apparently, that's a lot of that is Jared Leto's really cool stuff that we missed originally. But it's just be so cool. Like, it could just be some random film in the future. Just some, I don't know what. And Jared Leto and Deathstroke could turn up in it. And then it will lead to something else. You'd be like, like what Marvel have been doing over the years, but how we like it, a lot darker, better.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait for them to play in the sandbox,
Yeah.
And develop something special.
Yeah, it's going to be so amazing, and we've got there's it's Black Adam next week on Friday. I've got my tickets booked. I don't know. I might even buy the Black Adam bucket, popcorn bucket. Just for a laugh, because people are going on about this boycott stuff. It's it's good. It's got out of hand. And also, what do you guys think about the Man of Steel 2 news? Mikey was saying a running title would be Superman.
That's exciting stuff. I mean, but again, Mikey is so far ahead of the game. I almost feel bad because when Mikey gets on there and gives a scoop and starts talking about things like, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday's member stream, but here's the thing: when Mikey starts talking, we're all so far ahead of where everybody else is. We knew about Cavill and Black Adam a long time.
I know.
This is why I feel bad for so many people, because they don't have the knowledge. They don't know. And when you see things like this, and you see people speaking completely out of ignorance, with no knowledge for what is to come, and they're in constant panic mode, and they're constantly fighting and constantly arguing. And I'm at the point where it's just like, keep arguing and fighting for whatever you're fighting for, because right now all you're doing is punching the air, because you're not achieving anything. So I don't know, man. I'm super hyped. I'm pumped.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, me too. You said something I was thinking yesterday too, because I was going through tweets, because I was like, what's all this ruckus about? And on Twitter, and I was looking through tweets, and I was like, wow, a lot of these people that I'm looking at, who are truly upset about this whole thing with Black Adam and The Rock, they haven't gotten the information that we've been getting for over a year now. So they're completely like on their own almost for all this time, like not getting information, not getting the hope that we've been getting, not getting the reassurance that things were going to happen that have been happening. And so it must be hard for them psychologically to actually realize that this is actually happening. Like, maybe.
I mean, we're spoiled, because we've known all this stuff for ages. When say that people are like, oh wow, Henry Cavill's back and all that, we're kind of like, yeah, we knew. They're all sort of, we've had our celebration already. It's very exciting, the buzz on the internet, but for people that have had the foreknowledge, thanks to Sid Abdul, Mikey Sutton, and things like that, it's it's great. It's like it's like seeing into the future.
Oh,
And,
definitely. Yeah.
and I always get to say, just support. Go and check out Seal's channel. I'm actually got sick of explaining it now. And,
Yeah, I feel like we have to say that on every stream we get on. We have to say, shout out to Still Nation.
Yeah.
Check out Sill's channel.
Yeah.
Subscribe, become a member definitely, because you'll be glad you did. And my problem is people that become members of Sill's channel and then still go on Twitter and start panicking over the same stuff they were panicking about before they became members. It doesn't make sense. If you know the knowledge, if you're aware of what's happening, you have no reason to be in constant panic mode.
No, because there's nothing to worry about, because they've repeatedly proven that they're right over and over again. And some of these scoops are pretty big stuff. Like Seal's first one with Ben Affleck and Aquaman. That was, it was a great day for him. And obviously, a great day for the fans.
According to some of these people, even Ben Affleck being back is not. I've seen some of these people. I've actually seen some of these same people on Twitter that are saying F. Henry Cavill. Some of these same people are the ones saying Ben Affleck's not coming back. Yeah. So they're still clueless. They don't know. They've literally seen pictures of Ben Affleck on set of Aquaman 2 with Jason Momoa, but Ben Affleck's not coming back.
No. We're accompanied by that clip of Jason Momoa saying, "Oh, fuck it, Ben's back. We've got a lot of exciting things to come." He pretty much came out with it.
I just don't get it. So my problem, I feel, is like if
they're not willing to listen.
If Henry being back and Ben Affleck being back isn't enough of a good start for these people to see that things are moving in a positive direction, then they might as well just keep fighting for whatever they're fighting for, because only them and a small group of other people really know what the hell they're fighting for. Because at this point, I don't know. Because here's my thing. You could, scream to the moon all you want about how you want Zack Snyder to do his original storyboards, and you want his original vision for Zack Snyder's Justice League and whatever his 5-movie arc originally was. But that ship has sailed. That's not happening. We're not getting that. And even if Zack comes back, Zack is gonna have a bigger sandbox. He's gonna have new ideas. He's gonna have a new story. So that means that what you're fighting for was already compromised when Zack Snyder's Justice League was released. You guys aren't even fighting for. You guys aren't even fighting for. Can't even be fighting for that vision, because once Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, that vision was completely moot. Whatever he does from this point on is going to be something completely new.
And it was Zack Snyder that released the storyboards and said, the reason I'm releasing these is because we're not using them anymore.
Exactly.
We're going to come up with new stuff because, the story's evolved since then. It's his passion thing. He's been writing ideas down and stuff. And, I've got my own theories, like the nightmare scene where Superman lands and is just about to, do whatever he's going to do to the Nightmare League. Just Black Adam just flies out of nowhere and smashes Superman. That could be Black Adam that saves them. The possibilities are endless.
And it's like these people are so jaded and so angry that they don't even realize that what they're basically saying right now is that Zack Snyder turned on Zack Snyder.
That's what they're saying. Yeah,
because Zack is not going to do those original ideas. So if he's not doing those original ideas, what the hell are you fighting for? Why are you so against Henry Cavill appearing in other movies? Why are you against Black Adam when you already know that Zack's plans have been altered, and whatever Zack is going to do is going to incorporate the greater DCEU into those plans? I don't get it.
No, it just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
No, I could see, guys, if there was a chance that Zack was coming back and was going to do Justice League 2 and 3 in the way that he originally intended with those original storyboards. If there was a chance in hell of that happening, I can understand them fighting for it. But at this point, we already know because, like you said, Zach himself has
Zach
said
said
he's not using those stories, and that's why those are in a museum for display because he's not using them. So if he's not using them, you've already got Zach's original plan because you can go back and you can read those storyboards if that's what you want. Yeah. I don't get it.
The other funny one is, Jeff Johns has, he's not done very well at DC with the projects he's worked on.
I love it. I love it because Jeff Johns' name and Walter Hamada's name is in Black Adam. But like I said, Zack Snyder's name is on James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's name is on Wonder Woman 84. And here's the coup de grace, okay? Zack Snyder's Justice League has Jeff Johns' name being thanked in the credits of that film. So what are you talking about? What's the issue here?
Batman versus Superman, it's got Johns, Eremic, all of them, because they was working there at that time, and that's what The Rock was saying, is from 2016 when the new regime was trying to push Jack out and his ideas, The Rock has been fighting them since then. The maths works out. That's how long the crap regime has been going for. Because of the mixed performance of Batman versus Superman, they decided they were...
Which was their fault for not putting out the Ultimate Edition.
For missing half an hour of the movie that was really important. Mm-hmm. It was like, we've said about this before, they cut out some of the most important things. I've always compared it to Aliens. I've said this a million times. They in the Alien Special Edition, they cut out that Ripley had lost her daughter in the original movie. Mm-hmm. So, and then that was the impact of the relationship between Ripley and Newt, and they cut that out. That's what they did with Batman vs Superman. They cut out something so important. It really messed with the movie.
It's bloody ridiculous. Yeah. It is, dude. It doesn't make. We're at a point now where people should really be able to tell now the biggest differences between what Warner Media is doing and what Warner Brothers Discovery is doing currently. Warner Brothers Discovery is actually trying to right the ship. They're trying. They're making an effort. So give them the chance to try and make that effort and see where it goes. Stop crapping on everything that you don't even know or have any knowledge of what's going on in the future. You're not paying attention to anything. You hate all the scoopers. You hate everybody that is in support of Black Adam. Turned on so many people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why is there a Snyder Cut fan account on Twitter that is sarcastically attacking everyone who is in support of Black Adam? I don't understand this.
No, Zaslav wants to protect the brand. He cancelled Batgirl, approved the Blu-ray of Zack Snyder's Justice League. He pushed future movies so they can be better. Got rid of the old guys. What else do they want? Exactly. That's well said. Because they're doing everything to try and please the fans, and no one's being pleased. Just got to be patient. Ray, Fisher, and Zach will be back. Come on, Zaslav wasn't born yesterday. He knows that's what the fans want. It's not rocket science. They're watching everything to do with the Snyderverse fandom. And the proof of that was the reaction to the mistakes with The Rock's trailer, things like that. They instantly fixed that, and The Rock actually was it corrected with a fist bump? Actually in real time, communicating with the fans, editing trailers, stuff like that. I just you've got to give these guys a chance because they're making the effort to show that they're going to listen to the fans now.
Yeah.
So we as a fan base have got to say, okay, let's see how it plays out. support the movies and stuff because, well, for one, if these movies don't make any money, there ain't going to be no Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 because they ain't going to have any money or want to support these projects because, you know, if people don't want the DCEU and the Snyderverse, then, you know.
Yeah, and they definitely won't pay, you know, the actors to be in any of the films either. So, you know, to me, I feel like if you don't have Ben, you don't have Henry, it's going to be hard to sell a sequel to Justice League. Honestly, I feel like we need those guys, and hopefully we have everybody else too. We have, you know, Gal, and we have Jason and Ezra. So and definitely Ray.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
you know,
so,
and they're all you know becoming big stars, but like the crucial money side of it is Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill don't come cheap.
yeah,
So,
they don't.
do you know what I mean? So getting them to come back and agree to it after all the shit they've been through, that's such a massive deal. You know, Ben Affleck repeatedly said, done with it. You know, he had lots of personal problems and stuff going on in his own life, and you know, it was just a total mess. And Warner Brothers kept fucking Henry Cavill around. You know, I'm sure that was financial and, you know, creatively as well, because they probably wanted to do this more cheesy universe. And Henry Cavill said, I don't want to be a part of that. I've already had that. You made an embarrassment out of me in Justice League with that silly moustache face. You know, imagine how Henry Cavill felt about that. You know, having to like, take his like family and stuff to watch that movie and go, look, this is my movie. It must have been so embarrassing.
Oh yeah, and I think at that point he was ready to be done with it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't blame him because it was an absolute joke. You know, Justice League days are over. We finished that. We got Zack Snyder's Justice League. But you got to think about it from these actors' point of view. You know, and Ben as well with those silly lines like something's definitely bleeding and all that. You know, Ben Affleck is not just an actor. He's a screenwriter, a director, an actor. He's involved with behind the scenes money and funding and stuff. He's not stupid. He knows that was ridiculous. You know.
I mean, even Jeremy Irons complained about the dialogue, and he's like, and
yeah, Jeremy Irons said that this is a load of shit or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I've said the quotes of it.
Yeah, and this is an Academy Award-winning actor that you're making say some dumb lines. I mean,
yeah,
it's shameful.
It's embarrassing for them. You know, talk Jeremy Irons, you know, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. Like, you know, like they deserve
something completely different.
Yeah, they did. They believe in Zack's vision, you know, and all that. And
if these people are so, you know, invested in Zack Snyder's vision, then they should know and be mindful enough to pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. That's right.
That's the problem that I have. If you're that invested in it, and your whole thing is that you want Zack to come back and do whatever his vision is, then you would think you would care enough about seeing what's actually happening and paying attention to the fact that, hey, Ben Affleck is back, Henry Cavill is back, the new regime is righting the wrongs, and the fact that Henry and Ben are back at all should show you that this is not the same company that we were dealing with before.
No, and before all of the, you know, the merger and stuff, you know, the first things that we were saying in the Snyder Nights and stuff on Facebook is Ben will be back for Zack. You know, that was the deal, because everyone knew that he didn't want to be a part of that, and it's the same with, you know, the same.
Well, according to these guys, then that means that Ben Affleck betrayed all of that because he's back, right?
Yeah.
If Ben is coming back,
so now Ben's a traitor.
Now Ben is a traitor as well, just like Henry.
Yeah, that's right back then, because Ben Affleck makes movies for nothing. Yeah, nice one. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just really ridiculous. You know, he's one of the most famous people on the planet. You know, he can't even leave his back gate without them taking photos of him with his, what is it, Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee is his favourite, isn't it? Yeah. I want to apologise to David Ayer and others before him. We shouldn't be calling the DCU the Snyderverse. Marvel fans don't run around calling the first phase the Russoverse. It's the DCU. Right, fair enough. Nothing. Affleck is a good actor and director and more, writer, you know, screenplays, everything. He's a super genius, and he's won an Oscar for it, and he won an Oscar years ago for Good Will Hunting as well. 2 Oscars, you know. Yeah. You don't mind. Yeah, Jeremy Irons did. He improvised a lot of it, and apparently, but you know, because Ben Affleck was a bit wild and. He was saying to everyone, like, fuck this, let's all just leave. And they, you know, the cast had to convince him to come back on a certain day. Jeremy Irons said that Ben Affleck was just had enough and was just going to leave the set. Yeah. You know, that's to say, Ben, now calm down, you know, like, let's try and sort all this out. And that's why it was such a mess, because no one wanted to do it after... You know, the Joss Whedon coming in and messing everything up. And then you've got to remember, on top of that, you know, Ben Affleck is really good friends with Zack Snyder. And Zack Snyder just lost his daughter to this tragedy. So on top of all the shit that Ben's going through, he had to deal with all that as well. And the mood of the cast as well. You imagine something like that happens. And you're trying to make, you know, a big... you know, it's... He just wouldn't have the energy for it because it was just such a horrible thing, you know, to happen. You know,
yeah, they were harassing him by the end. He was just like, "I'm done."
Yeah,
you know, he had to leave the project. But you know, I always wonder what would have happened if they all walked like Ben.
Yeah, I do. Like, just imagine that, because
you know, would that have worked?
They probably would have. Maybe they would have panicked and brought back Snyder earlier.
Yeah,
perhaps, but yeah, and moved. But I think part of the reason they released Justice League was to meet the quota for that year. That was another bad move by the regime. It was, you know, it's got to be released by a certain date and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So, you know,
and they were competing with Marvel,
and they were trying and miserably failing. You know, just Justice League is, you know, it's considered one of the worst disasters in Hollywood history.
Yeah, and you know, I keep saying this, but I think that they thought that movie was going to blow everybody's socks off. And I'm like,
they thought it was going to be great.
Yeah.
A masterpiece.
Can you imagine Zaslav back then and them saying, this is great? Zaslav would be like, you know, you're all fired. And that's exactly what happened when he took over. Because no one in their right mind would have watched that and said, do you know what? This is all right.
Yeah, I mean, it was watered down so much.
Yeah. Making the money makers look foolish is what they did, yeah.
I mean, all the things that they needed was already done, and they had to do it over. I don't get it. I still don't get it. It still surprises me that they would take Zach's work and just chop it up and then add more insanely dumb stuff to it.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to look at the behind the scenes footage of Batgirl, you know, and it's I think it's been quoted as someone said it was CW levels of shite. You know, yeah, And it is a shame. And I feel really bad for Leslie Grace because I'm sure she would have been a great Batgirl, under the right conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Brendan Fraser as well is going to be Firefly. That's a big letdown.
That's the other thing I don't understand about these cultists that are so stuck in everything. The fact that they canceled Batgirl should clearly show them that they're not looking to go in a mediocre direction, that they want to try and right the ship. You don't cancel a movie that's cost that much money just because you don't have anything else to do. You cancel it because you don't believe in what is going on. And now it's like, my God, you're sabotaging Zach. You're sabotaging the new regime before they have a chance to really get started.
Yeah.
Michael DeLuca hasn't even really had a chance to put his name on anything yet. And we know he's a Zack Snyder supporter, but yet these guys want to crap all over everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Hamada telling Zaslav we have a plan, shows you Batgirl. Yeah, you're fired. That was clear what was going on because...
You're fired, you manimal. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out. Because, Hamada actually made it... I think it was a Variety interview, and he said, I wasn't consulted on the cancellation of Batgirl and didn't like the idea. So that was a blatant, disrespect from Zaslav to Hamada saying, don't care what you think. We're axing Batgirl whether you fucking like it or not, and you're gone.
And the only reason that Black Adam survived the great Emmerich and Hamada purge was because it's done by The Rock, and that Hamada is a name-only producer on that movie. The Rock, people have to remember, The Rock has been cast to play back Black Adam since 1998. That's a long time. So The Rock, the Rock was there long before Hamada. In fact, The Rock was there before Man of Steel came out.
It was, it was.
Think about it. Honestly, Zach would have had to have some sort of ideas for Black Adam at some point. Because Black
some sort
Adam
of knowledge.
Was
knowledge of
cast.
it. Yeah, it's before, and that also must have been in the days of Christopher Nolan as well. So Christopher Nolan would have known about all that as well. So,
it's also stupid. It's also stupid to me. Like I don't get it. Like again, I have to keep going back to my good friend Skywalker's analogy of it's like blaming your new girlfriend for all the problems you had with your ex-girlfriend. Doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense. They're two different people. It's like sorry, think. Didn't you get the memo? Don't
right.
Style.
Exactly. The memo. They didn't get the RT Snyder cut account. Didn't get the memo. They didn't. No. They didn't get the memo. They're not privy to the inside information that we are. They don't have inside knowledge of WBD 5 years into the future like we do. It's just
Yeah. Let's call it what it was, Retro, an absolute travesty of shit filmmaking, and they thought it would be fine. Which is, I think it's partly stupidity, but it makes me think that, like we're saying, the sabotage, maybe they was like, do you know what, this is really shit. Let's release it, and it'll make Zack Snyder look really bad, because it's got his name on it. There could have been some, it sounds very... It sounds very conspiracy, but maybe something to that. I've heard them theories over the years.
I just remember them being so proud of it, and it's like, oh my God, how do you release something with a man's face that looks like it's...
Yeah, I know, because my mum, right, she puts up with me, because I'm always going on about the Snyderverse. I've been going on about superheroes since I was a kid. I'll drive my whole family insane with it. And we was on holiday, and I said, I want to go and see the Justice League. So she come with me. And as soon as that face, Henry Cavill's face thing come up. She like tapped me on the shoulder and looked at me like, what the fuck? And it's embarrassing. As a DC fan, I was like, oh man, tomorrow on social media, I'm going to get so much grief, from the Marvel fans and all that.
How you got to look at it is, Superman was allergic to Joss Whedon, and that's why he had that reaction. His face was blowing up like he had a severe allergic reaction to
like a bee sting.
That's what it was. Yeah,
definitely.
That could be the a kryptonite bee sting. You can kind of that could be the in canon reason for why Superman had such a puffy, messed up face.
Yeah, by their logic, Affleck, Momoa, Cavill, and Ezra portrayed Zack. These people are nuts. I totally agree. Just the fact that they've written out Michael Keaton from Aquaman 2 and replaced him with Ben Affleck. It's like you said, Venkat. Did you get the memo? Like, really?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. Remember after Zack Snyder's Justice League came out when Warner Brothers released a trailer for Justice League in 4K?
4K.
Yeah. Why would you want to watch a crap movie? Even better.
Oh yeah, caught in 4K. Now we're gonna flaunt the fact that we messed up Superman's face, and we're gonna put it in 4K for everybody to see. Yeah, that's great.
That was really funny. And I've said this before. I hold my hands up, right? Yeah. That was a bot situation, because what we've done is collectively in all the Snyder groups went, go and dislike this video. So it ended up, and so I think so Film Gob as well. Everyone done the same thing all over the internet. Go and dislike it. And I think it was one of the most disliked, thousands and thousands.
Dislike videos of all time. I think it had over 1 million dislikes.
Yeah, and then freakily, in a massive coincidence, shortly after, YouTube got rid of the dislike button. So perhaps that was our fault. Well, Warner Brothers, technically. Yeah. I want to see.
I want to see that. That's how we'll know if it's in the theatrical cuts canon. If at some point we see Superman fight a hippo. That'll be the smoking gun proof that it's in the theatrical cut canon. That then the Snyder, then the RT Snyder cut account will have a legitimate gripe if we actually see Superman fight a hippo. Just saying.
Yeah, I do wonder how they're going to, if they're going to address it at all.
No.
Not Deadshot, the one from Suicide Squad, shooting Cavill with a kryptonite bullet. I wonder
if you saw the ending, if you saw the ending credits scene for Black Adam, it was Amanda Waller who sent Superman after Black Adam.
Yeah.
So maybe there will be some sort of reference to that. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or they just forget about it altogether. That would be great.
That would be great. I agree.
Right.
I don't really like the idea of that, to be honest with you. I know it's happened. It's happened in the comics and that, but I find the idea of
Superman is in the ICU because he got hit with a kryptonite bullet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what are they going to do in the ICU with him? I mean, really.
Yeah. Some people are throwing attention. Henry Cavill has Enola Holmes 2 hairstyle in Black Adam. Like, what do they want? CGI haircut? I didn't even understand that, because I thought I've seen the clip. I couldn't help it. I had to watch it, and it looks fine to me. The suit's
that's because it was a great clip.
Yeah.
It was a great clip. The hairstyle.
Yeah. DC in the house, how you doing? Do you remember when a certain YouTuber said the fandom was toxic because that trailer got so many dislikes? I know. Yeah, well, as Eminem says, it was us. We're responsible for that. We made that happen. Yeah. Bloodsport, that's it. I get mixed up because, it's a bit, for me, The Suicide Squad is just a distant memory. I really, really dislike that movie.
Right, I've seen it once. I'll never see it again. So
No. And, like we were saying, after watching, like the Zack's trilogy and things like that, and then Peacemaker as well, honestly, I want to throw my drink I was drinking at the time at the telly with that Peacemaker dance at the beginning. I thought, what is this fucking shit? No disrespect to the fans of it. If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. It's fine. I'm not dissing you. I'm dissing the Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Didn't like it one bit.
Yeah, forget that.
It's Justice League Superman, because Superman would never work with Amanda Waller to stop a terrorist. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that they come out with. Yeah. By the way, did you say The Rock saying Idris Elba could play a supervillain in the DCU moving forward, like he totally disregarded the Suicide Squad? Yeah, because he probably hasn't seen it either. That's why.
Because he knows it's trash. See, this is what they don't realize. All these detractors and hating everything that Snyder's not involved in. This is what they don't understand. The Rock is a Zack Snyder supporter.
Yeah,
they don't realize that.
Yes, and Rock's the big man. He's the front man and the big showman. I was seeing his pictures of the New York. Is it Times Square? Where there was so many people there for the premiere of Black Adam, and he was loving it and all that. But even he knows he ain't as big as in this DC world as Zack and Henry Cavill and people like that. He's going to have to be a team player and work together with everyone. He knows he's he learnt that at the Comic-Con recently, when he got booed about the Henry Cavill thing. He learned very quickly, the hierarchy of power in the DCU universe has never changed.
Not really.
Not really.
It was just put on hold.
Yeah, on hold.
He thought if he put on that suit, he could go out there and say probably, and everybody would get excited.
Yeah, and it didn't work. It went, couple of my internet friends were actually there, and they said people was actually walking out. They was actually walking out for real. That's actually a true story. They were like, nah, bring out Henry Cavill. You can't make things like that. But none of this matters now, because it's like we said, it's leading up to the Snyderverse. And
because Henry is back, so none of it matters.
Everyone acted like James Gunn was going to change the entire DCU with his masterpiece of a movie. Yeah, and I was, to be honest with you, I was willing to give it a kind of a chance, because the situation with the actors in it, Margot Robbie and stuff like that. I don't want to support Hamada, but it turned out to be really, really, really shit. Yeah.
No comment.
No. Well, did you really like it, Retro? Come on, be honest.
No, I didn't bother seeing it because I'm.
Oh.
see what we're dealing with here, Retro.
Well, there you go. There's proof.
Smart. Very smart.
No, I am seeing it one day, but I made a promise. I said I want to see the Ayer cut, the director's cut first.
Right.
So I will see it eventually, but I want to see the one we were supposed to get first.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's incredible. You couldn't even be bothered to watch it.
Can't blame him.
Honestly, it did. I mean, I think I will enjoy it, because it's a story. I love stories of all kinds, but I'll probably.
No, you won't like it, Retro.
No, okay.
it's just a one and done. You know, it's good to watch once, and it's not that good, but yeah, it's something. It's something to watch.
Yeah,
But you never know. You might like it, but I can't imagine it. You've got pretty good taste, Stretcher.
Exactly. She's got too good of taste to be.
No, guys, no. I have some bad taste in movies. There are some movies that I like that are just so bad, and I know it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few of them kind of movies. There's no harm in that.
We gotta switch lists, and you tell me which ones are yours, and I'll share mine.
Yeah, we'll do that on another stream. Actually, we could do a movie special of what do you call it? Just random guilty pleasures. Yeah. Oh, do you know what a good one is? That it's just so bad it's good. Is Street Fighter the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I fucking love that. I love that movie with a fucking passion. And it's the biggest load of trash ever made. But for some reason...
Oh, it's a wonderful movie.
It's so good. It's so funny and stupid that it's actually good.
Yeah.
That's probably my classic case of, guilty pleasures.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a total mess, and since reading up about that movie as well, what was going on, Raul Julia was dying of cancer during the movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme was spending $10,000 a week on cocaine.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention, while he was doing that on the set, he was apparently banging Kylie Minogue. Seriously, it turns out that is actually true.
That actually makes sense.
On set, coked out of his face, banging Kylie Minogue. I mean, just respect. I thought that was hilarious. But, that ruined Van Damme's career after that. He didn't really do much good. After his behaviour in Hollywood.
He should have participated in Mortal Kombat when they tried to get him for the original Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, that's right. And he said no.
He would have been perfect.
It was based the character on him.
That's who Johnny Cage was. Johnny Cage was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was supposed to be the over-the-top actor that and all that. And he said no, and he made loads of changes. But he's really, really totally gone off subject. He's really, really sorted himself out now, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I watched a documentary of him, Jean-Claude Van Damme Behind Closed Doors, and he runs like a little animal rescue centre where like dogs have got like 3 legs and cats with 1 eye and stuff like that. And the whole story of the mess that he was in the 90s, all alluded to he lost everything. He lost all his connections in Hollywood. He went missing for, I think it was 2 years from his wife, on some sort of bender, out of his face. Anyway, it turned out he ended up turning up on her doorstep a couple of years later on the floor, begging on his knees, saying, "I've made a mistake." And what a woman. She said yes, but she said there's going to be some rules, no getting out of your face, you've got to be, sort yourself out now, we've got children together. And he's an absolutely amazing guy now. He really, really learnt his lesson, because it wouldn't be hard. All that money in Hollywood, it wouldn't be hard to, go off the deep end, partying and stuff like that, And I think that's a great redemption story,
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of... He was a staple for a while, and I used to love watching his movies. I think my favorite movie from him is Universal Soldier. Love that.
That's a great
Universal
one.
Soldier still stands the test of time today.
I like
film.
I like Bloodsport the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think if I had to pick one, it would be AWOL or I think in America it's called Lionheart.
That's a great one too, Lionheart.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I never saw that.
It's called two different things across Europe and America.
Yeah.
It's AWOL and Lionheart, where he's a street fighter.
Time Cop is actually pretty good too. Sci-fi action movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! And Cyborg. I forgot about
Cyborg was
So
great.
good.
Yeah, the second one wasn't as good, but it had little clips of Van Damme in it. But yeah, Cyborg and things like that, they were great back in the day.
I think all the movies I like with him in it are all sci-fi. So I'm
There you
sticking
Yeah.
to my brand, I suppose.
There you go.
Yeah, he did. And what was the the one where he was like a fire inspector at ice hockey game?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Sudden Death.
Sudden Death. I really like that one as well. You know, it wasn't a major.
What about the one he did with Dennis Rodman, Double Team? You remember Double Team?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was so funny.
That's
That was
hot
pretty
trash
funny.
right there. I love it.
That's like a great way to describe it. Hot trash. Hot trash should have probably been the international title. Retro Nerd Girl.
Oh yeah, so good. And the ending.
Same sickness. I've been obsessed with Kylie Minogue since I was a kid. You know, British television. We had Neighbours, and that's where Kylie Minogue started off as. So yeah, it was love Kylie Minogue since I was a kid. Yeah, she was amazing. Yeah, Double Impact. What's the other one with the
ending of Double Impact is so hilarious. Oh, is it Double Team or Double Impact?
No, Double Impact is another movie. He was in another movie called Double Impact. Double Impact was where he played twins. He played both twin characters. But Double Team was the one where with Dennis Rodman.
Yes,
that's right.
And remember Knockoff?
Yeah, that was terrible. About it's copyrighted dodgy Chinese trainers and stuff, wasn't it? But what was the one with? For some reason it's gone out of my head now. Hard Target, that was it, with Lance Hendrickson.
John Woo directed.
John Woo. That was a damn good film.
The director's cut is even better.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, well, we're going back. We're going way back now. Yeah. Well, I can't believe we just went totally off subject on a massive Jean-Claude Van Damme tangent then.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Anything for John.
Yeah, definitely. I've got behind. He's done some quite good independent films lately. Most of them are not that great, but the ones that are good are really good. He done one called 6 Bullets that was about infiltrating paedophile rings, and he was like sort of vigilante stroke policeman in it. That was actually really good. But I don't really tend to watch them kind of cheap movies normally. Someone really has to go, you're really going to like this. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to mention Transmorphers, but we'll just leave that one alone.
Say it again?
I was going to mention the movie Transmorphers, a really bad
Transmorphers.
B-level Transformers ripoff.
Yeah, I think that rings a bell actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've seen that already.
You might have seen it, Retro. It kind of falls in with your purview.
Yeah,
you've probably seen it. You've probably seen it. Yeah, there was actually a couple. There was I think, I don't know if there was a trilogy, but I know they made 2 of them.
Yeah, Kickboxer. Hold up, JCV was together with Kylie. She was a good singer back in the day. She still is. She's still going, doing world tours. She's got to be 50 something now. Still absolutely gorgeous. No, she's still going. Really, really popular. Yeah. You guys remember the Mad Max SK knockoff movies back in the 80s? They would be on HBO back in the day. They were excellent, man. Yeah, there was actually, funny enough, there was one that was a rip-off of Jean-Claude Van Damme Cyborg, and it was called something Cyborg something else. I remember renting it from the video shop, thinking it was going to be connected to the Van Damme one. You know, because
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. There's bodybuilders on. Is it body? Are there bodybuilders in it?
yeah, and it's got
I'm
what it was is for the whole film, you thought the main character was human, and he thought he was human, and then right at the end, he got like injured. And like his leg had all bits of cyborg stuff coming out of it. And it's like, oh no, I'm a cyborg as well, and I hate the cyborgs. And it was so fucking garbage. But you know, like these movies, those movies were good for a laugh. You know, I used to end up like getting them, watching them, and then just quickly running back to the video shop and getting another one. You know, because why not?
That's not the movie I was thinking of. It's hilarious, though. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like things like Critters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to fucking love that when I was a kid. I loved that stuff when I was a kid. Yeah. And quickly on to Star Wars. Have you been keeping up with Star Wars?
Absolutely.
Jesus H. Christ. Jiminy Cricket. Andor. Oh my God. It's just one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. Very. I mean, I'm speechless. I just want to. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah, I mean the first 5 episodes are just incredible, and then the 6th episode with the heist was just honestly, I just couldn't contain myself. It's like I was on the Bat channel talking about this earlier. All the TIE fighter pilots run into the TIE fighters and the Empire's alarms going off and all that. It was real proper gritty Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, stuff I've been kind of dreaming of, you know, for years. That's why I love Rogue One so much, because it was so just, it was, you know, it was so off the rails of Star Wars. It was just something else.
Yeah, I mean, the world is very, it's believable in a sense where you can imagine yourself as one of the citizens of this world. Either you'd have to pick a side. Like, are you going to be with the rebels, or are you going to be with the Empire? Like,
Yeah.
you know, which one would you pick? I mean, and what would your life be like? And
Yeah.
it's showing us like how bad it is out there for just average folks in the galaxy. It's really terrible.
Yeah.
And people really have to fend for themselves. They have to, like, you know, they have to make do for themselves and make choices that are oftentimes, you know, unscrupulous. So yeah, I love it. I love Andor. And I think it's a great show. I mean,
Yeah, sorry, my camera's just gone a bit messed up there.
yeah.
I don't know what's happened there.
They're all blue, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a show that, I mean, I never thought Disney would ever do something like this, because it's not a fast-paced story. In fact, I was worried last week because the episode 5, I think, was very, very slow. But it was more to
Yeah,
set
that's
up
one thing about that show.
Yeah, and it was
Slow
to set
moving.
up. Yeah, it's really slow moving. And so you do have to kind of be ready for that. That is an offset, but also, like, it's to get you to the point where you can accept or deal with episode 6 and understand like so many people are fucking dying. They're dying, and they're not coming. They're not coming back from this. It's not like Marvel where you're gonna the character will be back next week or they're gonna find the solution. This is no, it's really dark.
It is as well, and sorry.
A little depressing, but I don't know. I like the I'll use the same word you use, the grittiness, the realistic portrayal of what it might be like to be an average person in the galaxy.
Yeah, that's right, and the grey area between the rebels and the Empire, like with Cassian Andor, shooting people, and they was threatening the Empire's family, the wife and the kid. Mm-hmm. The lines are very blurry, which is this is apart from Rogue One. It's not very sort of Star Warsy. It's normally sort of, we know who the good guys are, we know who the bad guys are, and it's simple as that. But I just really like the struggle and the storytelling and all that. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, really looking forward to more of that. Obi-Wan gave up. Back Dan, no.
Wow.
You need to give that shit up, man.
it's
getting old.
Oh goodness, yes.
That's how you tell a Star Wars story. Andor is top tier, right up there with Mando season 1. I love all of the new stuff. I think probably the Boba Fett's probably the worst of the lot, but I think as Andor is playing out, I think Andor's going to be my favourite. It's just more my thing. Yeah. No. Yeah. Right. I honestly don't know what the hell has happened to my camera. There was an issue with this earlier, and I just fixed it straight away. But for some reason, it's not changing this time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is all about. But we've had a good session today. So with the technical issues, you might as well wrap that up until next week, if that's cool with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming, Retro Nerd Girl. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'd love to get you back on here again if you're up for it. And we can talk more movies and Star Wars. And what have you got coming up, Sodwriter?
Oh, just another late night Q&A.
Yeah, I liked your one with Super Bro Corey the other day. I missed. Yeah. I had to watch it on the replay. I missed it. It was quite late, but should be back on track with that. And we got the Savage live stream tomorrow. Same sort of time, midnight UK time. And you obviously both welcome to come to that if you're around. Can't expect too much if you don't.
Well, Mikey will probably be there. He always pops up on those.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, I'm so grateful to Mikey Sutton for doing that, because he's dropped some serious bombs on my channel, and it's been like, I think 5 in a row now. He showed up five Sundays in a row. I think. Was it 4 or 5? I can't remember. But yeah, you kind of expect maybe Mikey Sutton's going to turn up, which is great stuff. So we've got that tomorrow. And how about you, Retro Nerd Girl? What have you got coming up on your channel and in the future and stuff?
Well, yeah, I'm working on more reviews. My next one is going to be Millennium, a movie that was released in 1989. It's a low-budget sci-fi thriller, and I can't wait to to post that. I'm actually editing it today. So
Oh, lovely.
yeah.
That sounds good. And yeah, we'll have to do some sort of collaboration with the movie scene at some point, because I'm a huge fan. The reason I got you on here and stuff is sort of watching a bit of your stuff and your sort of opinions on movies. We're very similar, and yeah, we kind of like the same sort of stuff. And you know, the library of movies that I've seen is bloody huge. So we could have some good fun with that.
Yeah, I actually enjoy talking to both of you guys.
Yeah, it's been
movie.
good.
Much love to you, Retro Nerd Girl. You are awesome as always.
Thank you. Yeah,
It
whenever
is.
whenever you guys want to chat about movies, I'm definitely, we'll try to squeeze in my schedule.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we'll come on your channel. You come back on here, and a bit like we've done today. Really, we've done a bit of Snyderverse, and then all of a sudden it went into
Little Mermaid and Van Damme.
and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and cocaine and Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot today.
Yeah. There's some funny stuff happening back then, back in the day. But yeah, well, hold on. Right now in the real world, parallels are striking. Yeah, I get that. Great stream, Seal Nation, Talladega Plays. Yeah, he'll be around tomorrow, I should imagine. DC Talk, yes, mate. Great stream.
And shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you. That was brilliant. It was like, yeah, and if you're still in the chat, don't forget to like the stream as well. You know, quickly, nip and click that like button. It all helps with the engagement and stuff. Yeah, like you said, much love to the chat. Thank you very much, my good friend Zod right at the back of the Kryptonian with very special guest, Retro Nerd Girl, which I really hope we see more of you in the future on here, because it's been great fun, and I just love hearing your takes on stuff. What you doing? Have you done your thing about David Zaslav yet? Are you still working on that?
I'm still working on that. Because
Yeah.
I had some promises that I have to make to some of my patrons, so I have to take care of that first.
Right, because I'd be really interested in hearing your takes on, Zaslav's past, his actions and the way he works. I'll be really, really interested to hear that. So that's something I'll be looking out for particularly. Yeah, Mikey went on his family reunion. Yeah, so he maybe not be around tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't know. But we'll have to see. But he normally shows up. Until next time, I'm with the Zod Writer, Retro Nerd Girl, the motherfucking Batman. Restore the Snyderverse is coming. Sorry about the malfunction with the camera, but these things happen. Much love to everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time, for the crossover stream with multiple guests. Yeah, Batman out.